Hello and welcome back to the channel, everyone, for this episode 9 on Haut-Beyleron with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, as you can see, it's early the next morning. Uh, Days are getting a little shorter as we move into the year. Uh, let's take a quick look around here. Nothing on the tomato front, but we did just deliver those, so yeah, only 71 liters in there. Our honey production continues, but a ways to fill up that pallet, I should say, and still nothing in for our lettuce. So doesn't look like we'll need to be doing any deliveries today. Um, as you may recall, there were a few weeds in the end of this field down here, field 41. I've checked this morning and no other weeds have shown up. There's just a few down there, and in order to remove them, we have to lease a hoe. It was pretty darn expensive, and it certainly, isn't worth the little bit of crop we'll lose down in that area. Is not going to cover the cost of renting that or leasing that hoe. So I think we'll just leave them. I'll keep an eye on it in case any more come that makes it worthwhile. So as you may recall, I picked up towards the end of the day, I picked up a large sugar beet harvest, and I have a couple other contracts here. So I'm going to go ahead and get on those. But I think unless something changes, I'll probably just carry on and skip through a day or two. I've looked at, there's none of our products we can sell. We can't do anything to our fields. Um, so I don't imagine it's too exciting for you guys just to see me rinse and repeat the same contracts over and over. So I'll go ahead and do that. So it may be a day or two before I bring you back in. If nothing of significant happens and it's just the same old, I'll just carry on and I'll bring you back in when we can start selling our contracts, or we gain enough money that we can do something with equipment wise or land wise, that sort of thing. So uh, maybe later today or maybe in a couple days I'll catch up with you, but I'll talk to you then. Good morning and welcome back to the farm. As you can see, it's a couple days later. Our money has gone up because, as promised, I've been working on contracts. There have been a couple changes, so let's take a look. First of all, yesterday I bought this larger seeder. I sold both our small 3-meter seeder and planter in order to purchase this. It pretty much covered the cost of it. I think we had to add in about $3,000. So that wasn't too bad. Now I'm on the hunt for a larger planter that we can use. I purchased this. I bought this new, actually. This bucket is the only tool we currently have in game that we can use to do cut sugar beet. And it only does 2,300 liters at a time. So I thought I would get a head start on doing the sugar beets, but I was surprised when I found out that I could not put the cut sugar beets into the railroad silo. It's the railroad silo where all our sugar beets were, and of course our silo up here wouldn't accept it. So last night I ended up doing a silo swap. The silo we had on the farm held 400,000 liters, and I was able to sell it for around 57,000. And I put this silo in, which holds 500,000 liters, but is a multi-fruit, and it cost us 50,000. So we came out slightly ahead on that deal. I then had to move all our product back into here, and I brought all the sugar beets up as well. So if we go over here, we should be able to see that our sugar beets are all in here. And you see we've got quite a few from the contracts I did over the last couple of days to cut. So, but because that's a multi-fruit silo, what it'll allow us to do is we've got this 49,000 liters of straw in here. We can move that into that silo and get rid of this structure here. and put in another one of these shelters, which will give us plenty more room to start parking some of our vehicles. So that's what I thought I would do this morning, and I'd leave you in for that because that swap out I did in the dark last night. So jump in our tractor here. Grab our straw. What I had to do last night is I moved all our product from our silo down to one of the railroad silos. So it was empty. Demolished it, put this one in, and hauled it all back. Our potatoes are still down at the railroad silo. However, I didn't see any point in moving them. We'll just leave them there till we sell them. Oh, you may have noticed, although it may not have mattered for the straw, but I have the max trailer limit turned off right now just for so I could use the full capacity of our trailer for moving everything last night, and I haven't turned it back on yet. So I hope everyone had a good holiday, Christmas and New Year's season. I'm recording this just a couple days after New Year's. It's been pretty darn cold in this neck of the woods over the entire holiday season, down into the minus 30s Celsius, that is. But minus 30 Celsius or minus 30 Fahrenheit, either one's pretty chilly. Now, I think we'll just park this over here out of our way for now. I have hired a worker working on some cultivating contracts with borrowed equipment. Oh, we need to get rid of our weight here too, because we're going to put our bucket on. If anybody has any comments regarding how I've decided to do this as far as just completing contracts offline and bringing you in for significant additions or changes, please let me know in the comments. Just with the new setup in FS22, just trying to come up with something that makes things kind of flow or move along. We're going to have to remove our power wash and our repair station and put them back in someplace afterwards as well, but they aren't very expensive. Another advantage is we don't need to have these sitting around. The silo will actually hold lime as well, so we can bring these over to our silo. Don't have them cluttering up the yard. These pallet forks and I aren't getting along too bad these days. Now those other, like the in-game silos, from what I understand, Giants changed it, like a 400,000 liter silo holds 400,000 liters total, not 400,000 liters of each product like it was in FS19. So I don't know if that holds true too for the modded silos or not. We have at least 500,000 liters of capacity, and I think that should do us for a little while, even if that's total. Don't know if I mentioned, but our honey's coming along. There, that takes care of that. We're going to put this bucket back on because we'll cut some sugar beets once we get done with this little project. All right, time to demolish here. I imagine we'll get something for this building. I have no idea how much, but We'll soon find out. Oh, wow, we're going to come out ahead on that. But we do have to get rid of these as well. Okay. Oh, I missed it, obviously. There it is. Now we should. All right, that's going to take a little messing around. I'll get that straight and I'll bring you back in. So I have it placed. I got it pretty close. It's not perfect, so I left a small gap. That's why that's there. But, you know, as they say, a blind man on a horse riding by would never notice. But no, it is pretty darn close. But that is one thing Giants could do to improve that, is to give you a fine adjustment when you're rotating it. It's tricky to get things lined up sometimes, but I love how you can now place things right up against each other like that. Something we could never do in FS19. So that looks pretty sharp and gives us a lot of storage space for our equipment as our farm expands. Now we just need to add in our wash station here. Put it maybe down here, something like something like that should work good. And we need where's our repair? I think we'll go back with the same repair for now. We'll line it up something like that. Should work. There. You know what I think what we'll do is we'll also add in someplace. Not sure where. A refueling point is what I was thinking. Don't know if I want to put it here. The triggers will be all a little close together. I'll think about that. Just so we don't have to run over to the gas station. But let's take a look at chopping some sugar beets. Seeing as it's raining, a good rainy day job. Now it's another advantage of having the spout and the grate totally in line, as you will see. Whoops, forgot the weight. I knew I needed that, I just forgot. Why back up once when you can do it twice? Okay, we'll try this again. And now we can turn it on. But if we go ahead and keep hitting the fill, we don't have to dump it. It's still a little tedious, but it's better than what I thought I'd have to do at the railroad siler, which is fill at one location, cut, drive back around to the other location. At least we can stay put. But at 200 and some thousand liters of sugar beet, you can see this is still going to take a while. I had done this on my other farm that I'm just playing for fun, because I also had sugar beets there, but on that farm it actually would run for 20-30 seconds before it stops, even with the bucket full, but here it's not going to do that. I was just seeing, because I think I was in cab in the other farm when I was doing this, so I just see if that made a difference. Well, as you can see, this is going to take some time, but it's worth it. We should get about twice as much money for our sugar beets this way. So anyways, I'll carry on in between contracts and that with this, but I just thought I'd show you that this is the biggest reason we swapped out silos, is so we could do this. So anyways, I'll carry on. I will continue to do contracts. Oh, one thing before we go here is I do want to let's pay off some of our loan with our newfound wealth here. There, now we're down to 90,000. I will likely pay more off at the end of the day to reduce our interest. Just leave some money in there in case there's a good deal come up, something I can't resist at the store. But anyways, I'll carry on with this and I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Welcome back. It's the next day. I just thought I'd bring you in and show you the finished product. You can see I put a light in that shines into our shelter where all our equipment is parked. I adjusted this a little bit so that I could put in our fuel tank here. So our repair and wash station here, the triggers don't interfere. I confirmed that, so we're good. So if we look at the calendar, you can see we are now at a harvest season, so there won't be any more harvest contracts. There were a couple cultivating ones today that I borrowed the equipment for that I'll do, but there probably isn't going to be a whole lot going on. There are some crops we can probably sell in December, but I just checked the prices are still going up, so we may do that later today. If they peak out, I'll bring you back in, but I'll go take care of those couple cultivating contracts in the meantime and catch up with you in a little bit. But overall, I'm pretty pleased about how the yard looks. Oh, one thing I will mention, I just traded our trailer in because I was having a devil of a time trying to back that swivel axle one in. So I just made a trade for one. It's slightly bigger, but no swivel axle. I just couldn't do her, man. So I made a trade there. So anyways, well, it's later that same day. I thought I'd bring you back because it was like snowing like crazy. And one thing I forgot to mention about this fuel tank that I meant to is you can either fill it manually or you can fill it using this trigger here. You do pay a little extra for it than you would if you hauled it yourself. That's how I filled it. I put 500 liters in it, just because we don't have a trailer right now that'll haul fuel, but you can fill it either way. There currently are no contracts at all available. I've just been watching the price on sorghum is going up. December is a good time to sell it, so as soon as it peaks, I'll bring you back in and we'll get rid of that. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention too is it does appear that this silo is 500,000 total. You can see a little bit of cut sugar beet laying here. It actually appears we get a little bit more cut sugar beet than we got sugar beet, because there came a point where it would no longer enter the silo and we're at 500,000. So it is 500,000 total. Hopefully that sugar beet will disappear once we take some product out of there. So, but I've been kind of watching potatoes and sorghum, which are December's peak month. So as soon as we get something we can sell, I'll bring you back. But in the meantime, we'll enjoy the snow. While we're down here at the train, the potatoes actually peaked just after I finished talking to you. The best sell point is by a train. So we've got them loaded here, and we'll send them off. Sorghum is still climbing, so I'll keep an eye on it. There's our potatoes gone. All right. Well, I got to head her back to the farm. I will see you in a bit. Well, it's a couple days later. It took a while for the price to peak, and it peaked at the train sell point. So I'm hauling our last load to the train station here. And not surprisingly, there's still been no contract show up now. So it's pretty much just selling our crop. on its way down. I'll bring it back in when it gets here and I get it loaded, and we'll like we do with the potatoes, we'll send it off. Well, there we are. We're loaded up. Let's send the train off and see what we get. Nice. Well, I'll make it back to our tractor. If I head the right direction, it'll help. That cleared out some room in our silo, so we can finish cutting those sugar beets. That's what I'll do next. And then I'll probably fast forward through just till January and start watching the prices again, because we've got our cut sugar beets we should be able to sell in January, some corn, and that's what we'll do next. So catch up with you soon. We're back here at the farm. As you can see, it's still snowing and it's still dark. It's almost 8 o'clock. Although the grass is frosty, no snow is stuck yet. Anyway, I did finish the sugar beet. So our sugar beet's now all cut and ready for sale. And that price should peak next month. But I have checked and we're at our time limit for this episode. So I think we'll call it there. And so if you're still with me, really appreciate you watching. If you found anything useful or entertaining, encourage you to hit the like button. And if you want to see when or be notified when other content lands, please hit the subscribe and notification bell. Until next time, Farmer Murphy signing out.